Hello Aces, welcome back to another Ace Command 7 theory, and this one is quite simple. Is Osea or the IUPF replacing ISAF? The Independent States Allied Forces, or ISAF for short, was a military alliance in Strangel formed in the continent of Usea just after tensions between Erusea and the members of the Central Usea Treaty Organization started to rise in the year of 2003. Still in that year, the war between Erusea and ISAF started. From the very beginning, Erusea seemed unstoppable when they almost conquered the entire continent of Usea. In September of 2004, when ISAF was facing its darkest hours, they unleashed their best pilot, Mobius I, who managed to change the tide of the war. In September of 2005, ISAF forces were already in the Erusian soil and managed to conquer the Erusian capital city of Forbani. Following the loss of their capital, Erusian forces surrendered and the war was officially over. In the aftermath of the war, ISAF imposed a new government and its guidance to Erusea, but in the year of 2006, members of the Erusian military rebelled under the Free Erusea movement, which had the goal of restoring Erusian independence. This time, ISAF sent Mobius I alone to deal with the rebel forces, and in the last battle against Free Erusea, Mobius I faced some X-02 Wyverns. After the destruction of the Wyverns, Free Erusea was officially destroyed. The X-02 Wyverns and its technology then fell into ISAF hands, and the X-02 was later exported to Osea, as we can see in this cutscene from Ace Command 5 and also in the airshow over November City in the year of 2011, as I have mentioned in my History of Osea video. So far, these were all facts, but let's dive into the theory part now. When Mobius I defeated Free Erusea, there were already talks about his retirement. So what if Mobius I did retire? Would ISAF even be able to fight without Mobius I? More importantly, if ISAF's goal was to counter the Erusian aggression, and they did manage to win the war against Erusea, is there a point to ISAF's existence now? They surely kept on existing 1 year after the war, when they fought against Free Erusea, to guide Erusea's political transition, but what about in the long term? Would they still exist in 5, 10, maybe 15 years, which is exactly when the events of Ace Combat 7 take place? Did they keep on existing as a military alliance like NATO did after the fall of the Soviet Union? Or were they like the allies of World War II who went their separate ways after the war? And yes, I know some of them formed NATO, but that was because of the Soviet Union, not the Axis powers. Instead of keeping an alliance against no enemy running, why not just disband, and if those countries needed help, why not ask for a superpower to intervene? Because that's exactly what happened in 1997 when some Usean countries tried to form a military alliance with Osea. If things didn't work back then, why not now, since it's peacetime and Osea's government after 2010 was very into peace? Having Osea, a stranger superpower guaranteeing the independence of the small Usean nations, should be enough to prevent wars from happening there. After all, no one would really want to mess up with Osea. Although something clearly went wrong with this idea because Erusea ended up declaring war against Osea in the year of 2020 for still an unknown reason. Another point supporting this theory on the replacement of, or the cooperation with, ISAF is that ISAF soon exported the X-02 Wyvern, a product of cutting-edge Erusian technology, to Osea. Another one is that in the arcade mode of Ace Combat 5, where we play as Mobius I fighting against Free Erusea, the tanker aircraft is painted on the colors of the Osean Air Defense Force. I know that many of you will say that Project Aces were just reusing the models because the same thing also happens in Ace Combat X, and I totally agree with you, but what if Project Aces is using this small mistake as a hint to the story of the next game? What if Osea was helping ISAF fight with logistical support? Of course, we're only talking about a theory here, so it's all about possibilities. Perhaps it's not just Osea that's replacing the ISAF, but the whole International Union Peacekeeping Forces. The IUPF, which also exists in the Ace Combat Joint Assault universe, could have been created with the goal of protecting the ISAF, the International Space Elevator, which is also conveniently located somewhere in the southwestern coast of Usea. Having an international organization protecting that part of the continent should be enough reason for ISAF to become obsolete. But of course, that's only my opinion. So this was my theory about the end of ISAF and the replacement of the alliance with either Osea or the IUPF. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and as always, remember to leave your thoughts and theories in the comment sections. This was Ace Combat Fan, and stay tuned in the channel for more Ace Combat.